everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Arifa and this is Millennial on a Budget. Today I wanted to tell you guys my debt-free story and how I got out of $20,000 worth of debt in about 6 months. If you just want to know the short version of the story, I just got a second job, I worked a lot more, I spent a lot less, and I also used Dave Ramsey's baby steps to help me get out of debt. Alright guys, so now the long version of this story. I got myself in debt actually quite a few times and I've always managed to get myself out of it. Never this much though, never $20,000. I got a credit card when I was about 18 years old. My mom didn't really let me use it too much. She monitored how much I was spending and I didn't have a job at the time, so it was just like putting gas on it. And I would pay it back just to help me build a credit score. Anyway, so back when I was 18 years old, I had a taste of what it was like to have a credit card. And it was awesome, right? You can spend money that you didn't have right now and pay it back later. That was it, and it was very exciting. So up until I was about 24, I would be using my credit card to buy whatever I wanted. I always overspent, always overspent. Back in 2014 is when I started radiology school. I am an x-ray tech, and during x-ray school, I was like, oh my gosh, in disbelief, because my mom was one of those people who did not want her children to have student loans, and I was the oldest, and so she did everything she could so that I didn't have to take out any student loans. And here I was racking up credit cards when my mom was trying to, make sure I didn't graduate school with student loans. I didn't realize back then how much being debt-free was going to set me up for a better future. I was young, didn't want to listen to anybody, so I just kept using my credit cards. So anyways, I got into x-ray school, and towards the last year of my program, I just started to see, all these credit cards that I had with this large balance. I think at that time it was probably like $5,000-$6,000, which is a lot, especially when you're a student and you're not making a whole lot of money. Anyways, I buckled down and I said, you know what, I'm gonna pay this off, and I did. And at that time, I did the same thing where I just worked a lot more around my classes and I threw everything I could at debt, which was so easy because I was living with my mom. I didn't have any other expenses. So pretty much all of my money that I was making was going towards my credit card. So in 2016, I graduated, no credit card debt, and then I decided I wanted to buy a house. So for the next year, I still had 2 jobs. Now that I was an x-ray tech, I've always had 2 jobs. So after graduating x-ray school in 2016, I decided that I wanted to buy a house, but I had absolutely nothing in savings, $0. How was I gonna buy a house with absolutely no money? So I decided after I graduated x-ray school and I got my first x-ray job that I would look for a second job. So I got me another job, which allowed me to save a lot of money. So for about the next year, I saved up and I purchased my first house, October of 2017. I was super excited. I moved into the house in November of 2017. And I moved out of my mom's house with honestly nothing but my clothes. So being a girl, I'm all excited. This is my very first house. I have nothing in this house other than my clothes. And I said, I have to decorate. So yes. So this is where my credit card debt came in. I put everything that I could think of on a credit card. All the money that I had saved went towards my down payment. I did use some of it to buy furniture, but majority of my credit card debt was because I couldn't wait to decorate my house. It just had to be done, and it had to be done quickly. So I was just ordering things left and right. And also what I did was, so things like my mattress, I went to Mattress Firm and they said, well, you can get this mattress and pay it off in 2 years. And it was something crazy like $20, $30 a month that I had to pay. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could do that. That way I can get the best mattress and the head could lift up and the feet could lift up. Ridiculous. I don't even use those features like that. But I have the mattress. So that was like $2,500 that I put on my credit card. And then I also have 2 guest bedrooms. I bought beds and I bought furniture for everything, living room, everything, all my furniture. So not only did I do that and put all my money on a credit card, but I also was like, you know what? I got my own house. I'm working 2 jobs. I need to travel. The next couple of months, I booked not 1, not 2, not 3, 5 trips. Yep, 5 trips. And guess what I did? I put it all on my credit card. Every single one of them. And I was like, you know what? I'll pay it off because I've done that in the past. But at this point, I had 11 credit cards and my total was $20,000. So towards the end of 2017, I was like freaking out because I had finally looked at all my credit cards and I was like, Arifa, what are you doing? You have 11 credit cards, you have $20,000 in debt, and you think you're gonna go traveling next year? This is ridiculous. So I went on YouTube and I Googled how to get out of debt. And Dave Ramsey kept popping up. And I was watching a lot of his YouTube videos. And all these people who were making less money than I was were getting out of debt. And they had way more debt than I had. And I'm like, oh my gosh, $20,000. I can do it. So one of the things that Dave Ramsey talked about, baby step number 2, is what he talked about is the snowball method. So basically you take all your debts and you put them from smallest to largest and you just start attacking the smallest debt all the way up until the largest debt. So my smallest debt that I had was a Victoria's Secret credit card. I had about $25 on it. So that was my smallest debt, and my largest debt was one of my credit cards, which was about $10,000. Crazy. So just one credit card was $10,000. So I gave myself, my first trip was coming up in May of 2018. When I was doing all this research about how to get out of debt, it was about December of 2017. So I was like, okay, Arifa, your first trip is coming up in about 5-6 months. Let's see how much debt you could knock down before this first trip. So I had already paid for all the trips. So I just decided I was still gonna go, but in order for me to go on these trips, I had to pay down my debt. So that's what I did. So how the baby step worked, so you list your debts from smallest to largest. And so my credit card, being the Victoria's Secret, being that was my smallest debt, was $25. So I paid that off. And Dave Ramsey says, once you pay it off, you need to just cut up your credit card. I actually went a step further and I closed my account. I know it's not recommended to do that, but for me, I was determined to just be done with credit card debt or just debt period. I just never wanted to get myself into that kind of, I didn't want to get into that place again where I owed so much money. So credit cards for me at that time was just a horror story. So I just decided to not only cut them up, but close my accounts. Again, this is not recommended. This is just what I did. This is my experience. For me, I've been building my credit score since I was 18 years old. So it didn't really hurt me all that much. I still have a really nice credit score. So again, I'm just telling you guys what I did, how I got out of debt This is just my experience. I'm not an expert or anything like that. The debt snowball worked so great for me. I was on fire trying to get out of debt. So every time I paid off a credit card, I just got even more excited about the next one and the next one and the next one. And I just did this all the way through until I paid off the very last one, which was the $10,000 credit card. Was this easy? Absolutely not. But just to let you guys know, I do live by myself. I'm not married and I don't have any children. And through this whole process of me paying off my credit card, my mom had been such a big help, because all I did was work. I just worked and worked and worked. And she would pack me a lunch and make me dinner so that I didn't have to worry about coming home after working 2 jobs and have to cook or anything like that. So that was just so very helpful. I know that I'm lucky. I know a lot of people don't have that kind of support, and I'm so grateful for it because it made the world of difference in my debt-free journey. So yeah, that's basically the bulk of how I got out of $20,000 worth of debt. I just literally took everything that wasn't going towards the bills and just my living expenses, and I just threw the rest at debt. I did do the baby steps in order. So baby step number 1 was to save up $1,000 for an emergency fund. And before I started baby step number 2, which was the debt snowball, I did save up $1,000. And that took me probably about a month to do. That's when I started attacking my debt. And I was, as he says, gazelle intense. Ever since I gotten out of debt, I've stayed out of debt. I still live on my own. I have my house, and actually I'm starting a new debt-free journey. I'm currently on baby step number 6, and baby step number 6 is pay off your mortgage early. I've been in this house pretty much about 2 years now. Yeah, maybe a month, 2 years and 1 month. I've been in this house about 2 years now, and I am on fire about paying off my mortgage early. I'm trying to pay it off in a total of 5 years. So I've been here 2 years already, and I have 3 years left. So on my upcoming YouTube videos, I do want to track my progress and talk to you guys about how I'm paying down my mortgage and how I'm saving for retirement and just my plans to be completely debt-free, not just consumer debt-free, but just completely debt-free. All right, guys, that's it for today. If there's anything that you would like me to talk about in a future video, just drop a comment down below. If you do like this video, please share it with one friend, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. Take care.